last episode, we had our first meteor impact, so let's celebrate this glorious occasion and let's play Planetbase. Let's actually not celebrate it. We don't want that to happen too often, but it will become more frequent as the base spreads out. It's just basic statistics. The more space there is for the meteor to hit, the more likely it's going to be to hit that space. That is that space, not dead space. Okay. We're also still short on metal because, yeah, I just went on a massive building spree and pushed towards the robotics. And apparently that didn't serve us too well. Is that ore? No, it's semiconductors. I thought we had ore in here. It would be kind of weird because the mine's over there, so I was wondering if somebody would actually go here, grab a crate of ore, carry it right past storage, and all the way through the base to drop it here. I mean, that would be silly, right? And again, I told you that those AIs do have the worst self-preservation instinct in the history of mankind, probably. Especially when it comes to actually life-threatening situations, because they will just produce the wrong thing. They will carry the one resource that would have saved the base and drag it to somewhere they don't need it. And yeah, then you're doomed. But I think this is it's a bit like Dwarf Fortress in that regard. So I didn't say Pokemon for once. You can't come up with all the ways that these people can mess it up, and they're just doing basically what they are supposed to be like doing by protocol given to them by the whatever federation. And they don't know that this one piece of bioplastic could have been used to make one piece of medical supplies instead of a semiconductor, which would then have saved the injured engineer, which would have then allowed him to fix the power collector, the solar collector, which would have then put the base back online. Something like that. It has happened to me. Believe me, not in that way, but I've had it quite a few times when the biologists would just tend to something else that was not like shortly before producing, and we basically lost all the food. Yeah, we just lost food, and people were starving to death, which kind of sucks. Believe that, it does suck. Also, what do you get from 3 meat? I want to see now. Beef, pork, and chicken. That's like a meat salad. And some more chicken. Come on. What do we get? We get 1 basic meal. That's anticlimactic. That is anticlimactic. I was expecting something more, I don't know, spectacular. There's way more you can do with 1 beef. Well, the entire thing, of course. No. Also, speaking of vitro meat, I think I've recently seen an ad for... It's been a while, but I've seen an ad for a company that basically tried to do just that. Forgot the name, but they were having a kind of nice advertisement. I'm not sure how well that would work, but they were basically saying, yeah, we can produce meat by just making it in the laboratory, and that way no animal has to suffer. Which I think is one way to put it. I mean, I'm not sure if that meat is going to be as, or would be going to be as good, and they made it sound like this was already state-of-the-art technology, but I think it was more of a startup that was planning to do this, and not exactly at the point where you could basically grow a piece of meat for a reasonable price at a reasonable speed. Okay, what are you? You're a colonist pod. I'm kind of having a lot of colonists lately, which is worrying. Okay. So we'll wait for a bit of stockpile to in metal to build up, then we'll probably get more of that. We got a second water tank, which is currently not connected to anything. Now it is. So now it's filling up with 600 units of water. It just started filling up very slowly. Not sure why that. I think that's because... No, that's not because that just dropped out. Oh well, no idea. I have no idea what happened there, but we now are filling this water tank. And we now have a second one, so if this one gets hit by a meteor, we are not completely on the dry. Okay. How much stuff do we need for a mine? We need 2 ores, okay. I think it's also a good idea to make... once we get the mine over there, we'll also have to place those ore refineries. It might have been a good idea to make a big processing plant here, but I don't think we'll have that much stuff. And also, we can always build another. Although it would be nice to actually be able to upgrade this as you go. I mean, it probably shouldn't be that hard to build a layer on top of that, and just trash the inner layer once you're done there. At least I imagine it would be possible. Although I'm not sure how those modular builds would take that. I suppose it should be possible, but I'm not a space engineer. I'm not even a real engineer yet. Actually, I am. I do have it's basically an engineering degree. But you don't engineer with it too much. It's like I've learned to lay out and to dimension various treatment plants and stuff, but I wouldn't really feel confident actually doing that for a living. Because the thing when you actually have an engineering, or when you actually do engineering, is that people depend on you quite a bit. And they have to rely on the thing you've been building being actually good at what it's doing. And I think that is quite a bit of responsibility to have on your shoulders. And that's why I basically wouldn't feel confident actually engineering things and actually saying, okay, this is how you build this huge-ass water treatment plant. Or whatever. I mean, I could, for example, plan a sewage treatment thing, but I wouldn't want to. I did quite well in this exam, but I wouldn't trust myself with doing that. And now that I've said this, I just realized that a potential employer, might see this video and think, hasn't this guy applied to me, to my company lately for just that? I'm gonna have to ask him in the interview. And then I'll be doomed. Because that's something that I wouldn't expect. With my currently 118 subs, I wouldn't expect anyone I'm actually going to work for to see the videos I put up. I mean, what are the odds, right? What are the odds? Do you have... You have the farm dome patent, which I don't want. You have some carrier bots. You have 1 drill bots, but I don't want that. We could also buy and make guns, which is another exceptionally well-selling product, but I don't want to have that either. So we'll just sell, I don't know, 2 of those, and relieve him of all of his money, or most of it at least. I want more of that. Damn it. Okay, we'll do that. We'll trade that away. And we almost have all the things we need. We almost have all we need for the next bigger... or for the next patent. I believe all the patents sell for 400 cash. Credits, I suppose. Right now our guard is not doing anything. He will be useful once we have intruders. Although without a gun he'll not be that useful at all. He'll just do something, he'll just try and fight the intruders off, which is not going to be blessed with too great a success. I can tell that much. Trying to fight somebody who is armed with a gun without a gun, it doesn't end well. So guards are dying a lot in my star bases, in my planet bases, not star bases. Not in space right now. We are somewhere in space, but we're more on the planet, so it's not the same as being in space. Even though, I mean, you have okay, you have gravity and you have solid ground under you, but like very little air, if any. I mean, we do have an atmosphere. We have air, we have wind, so there is an atmosphere. It's not like we're in a vast void of space, but it's not a breathable atmosphere at least. I think it's fairly close to being in space proper, so I don't know where I was going with that. So it does feel good to record again, though. I suppose I'm a bit out of shape, but I am enjoying it quite a bit. And I do have some plans for the weekend too. I want to record a bit. I want to not too much because I have to actually work on my thesis. It's not started officially yet. I mean, it may have by the time you see this episode, but I've been recording those last 3 or 4 episodes of Planetbase in the same session. So to me, it's still the 28th of April, and yeah, I've basically been trying to work on that. We also have to keep an eye on this on the food stores because we do have a steadily growing population. And at some point they may just out-eat your growth, and by that time we'll probably want to add more things here. Okay. Where was I? Right. Yeah, so I have to work on that. Tomorrow there's going to be a presentation or an introduction to the foul brood remediation for the bees. Because Dresden still has the foul brood, and it's probably going to have it for a while. So the beekeeping club leader actually sorted out somebody who's really knowledgeable in this topic to have a presentation tomorrow about how to get rid of the foul brood and how to get it out of your colonies or out of your hives. And he made it a semi-mandatory thing for all beekeepers. I mean, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek because he can't force us to go there, but I kind of want to go there, and I'm also looking forward to it. It's always a thing to learn quite a lot. On Sunday we are finally supposed to have good weather again, so I actually plan to split my beehive, which is something I sadly probably won't be able to record because I will need both hands to, well, split the beehive. And it's something I'm not looking forward to too much because I will have to deal with quite a lot of things at the same time. I have to handle the frames, which are kind of heavy if there's a bunch of bees on it. I have to look for the queen while I'm at that. I have to cage her with my free hand, which I should have by then. And then I have to go about and do the hive splitting, which is something I've never done before. I know how to do it technically, but it's always a different thing knowing how to do it and actually doing the thing. Yeah, I mean, most of you probably have seen that or known that from somewhere else, or maybe even from beekeeping. It's not quite the same. Also, is it daytime or is it still night? It is. Oh, it's starting to be daytime. We didn't go through that much power this time because I think we had a good amount of wind overnight, so the wind turbines were offsetting the power drain quite remarkably well. Gotta say that. Okay, now we are making power again. And as long as we have a fair bit of time in which the production is way bigger than the consumption, and we have enough time to actually fill those power collectors, we should be good. But I still want to get some more of those going as soon as possible, just to be on the safe side. You can't really have too much power. I mean, you can just have basically wasted potential, but it's not as. It's better to have like a bit too much and not use everything of it than having too little and, well, dying to it. It's just how things go. And I may be a bit too careful here, but I think that's just the way to go. I've lost a fair few bases because I grew too rapidly. And this is still in check. I mean, we are currently low on metal, but we should have that remediated at some point. I could have actually afforded one drill bot just to show you how quick those work. But now we have 3 workers in the mines, and I was looking forward to having all my workers for actually productive things, like for the processing of bioplastics and all the ores that we're gonna have. Okay, so yeah, next time I think I'll just buy one of those drill bots. So how many guards do we have? We have 3 guards, which means we can also consider making the... Oh wow, look at that, we're not making anything with that metal we have, because we are at 5... We are not at the required amount of spares, but we should be there soon. Or will they only make it once they have... No, they started making a new set of spares. We're also about to make semiconductors. We have a fair bit of bioplastics, so we might in fact consider selling some of that. And I will also, just to have it finally done, I will also set a bot workshop to be made here. And we will put the auto repair in here when we actually get there. And I think this is where basically set up what you want them to build. Okay, this doesn't need semiconductors, sadly. I would have liked it if it only needed semiconductors, because we have enough of those right now. And bots, I think, will require a lot of metal as well. And I think you'll also need those blank robots, I think. I'm not sure. I think there's kind of a blank robot which you then turn into the thing you wanted to do, but I'm really not sure on that, so we'll see. It's been a long time since I've actually had robots in Planetbase. It's been ages since I've played this before recording it, so yeah. Bear with me here. I don't know everything, and I freely admit that. Also, we got this storage down to 34%. I really shouldn't talk at this time of day. We filled this up fairly nicely as well, but I think there's a bit of fluctuation here. We basically carry things back and forth, and it's kinda stationary, I guess. So we're not using as much as we're producing, or almost as much. So yeah, basically a box is put in here and the box is taken away at the same time, which means it's effectively balancing out. Also out of metal. There is no free metal in this base. And luckily people are not going to go haywire and just go declare the end of the world has come. Which I might do if there's too severe lack of something. Right now there's not too much going on, so the workers are happily chipping away at the mines. And how many workers do we have? Let's check that for a moment. We have 15 workers, so 3 can go in here. Then we need 4 for this, which is 7. Then we need 2 here, which means 9 workers. So we have more workers than we can currently use. Obviously, not all the workers are currently busy, because this is not... shut up. Because this place here is not... So this one metal processor is not processing any metal. And it could, it has the ore for that. It's just not processing anything, which is a shame. And that will be sorted out by the time we have, well, more bots, because even the carrier bot will free up workers. In fact, those may free up quite a lot of workforce in your base, because everybody kind of does their share of carrying stuff. And bots are just way faster. Also, I'm still not happy about this, so I might, and mind you, I might. I didn't say I will. I said I might even recycle this mine and just drop it over altogether, and just build a new one here. But that won't happen until we have a very nice stockpile of metal, and it probably won't happen at all. I'm not sure if mines actually run out of materials at some point. Like if this mine can only have like a 500 ore mined from it, and then it will run out. But I don't think that will happen. I think it will be destroyed by a meteorite earlier than that. Anyway, it's time to end this episode. We did get a few things done, not as many as I would like to, because we were still short of metal, but I think we're on the way to resolving that. So until then, until next time, bye.